Hey everybody, and welcome to the set of the Grumpy Snail podcast. This is not a podcast. There will be cuts. I'm just doing this video here because after I got it set up, this is the best place to do the video because it's already set up. So today what we're going to do is we're going to put together this little Hurdy Gurdy puzzle. Isn't that cool looking? Yeah, it's a Hurdy Gurdy puzzle. So if you don't know what a Hurdy Gurdy is, it's a medieval instrument that is, it's kind of cool. So supposedly you can play this after you put it together. So we're gonna put it together right here. I don't know how long it's gonna take, but we'll see, and we'll see if I can get the parts together, and that's pretty much it. Enjoy watching this video of me putting this puzzle together. So this is all packaged together. Supposedly you do not need. Check it out. There's rosin, like it's a violin. This looks like some sort of wax. We got what look to be nylon strings and some fine sandpaper and 3 rubber bands. That appears to be everything that's in the box. Here's our instructional booklet. This is going to be fun. Supposedly you need no tools for this, and this is looks like a small part, so we'll go ahead and put this together first since it's separate. We're going to try to go through this as fast as possible. The way a hurdy-gurdy works, if for some reason I can't get it together, so there's a crank, and the crank is attached to a wheel, and basically the wheel rubs against the strings, and that produces the sound, and then there's keys on the end that press down the string, and that creates the note. So there will be a crank with an axle attached to a wheel. So that's probably what the wax is for. So we've got 2 parts that are the same. And we put those together with 2 connectors, which I believe is 5 and 6, right? Yes. 5 and 6. And there's an exclamation point. I guess this part here is important. Yeah, so I don't have the proper equipment that I want to film this, so we're doing the best we can with what we got here, and hopefully that will be adequate. Make sure we got all the parts facing the correct ways. Yes, like it is. Just like that. Alright, and so now we have a hammer. Actually, I'm not sure what that's for, but here's our final completed piece, I believe. Make sure, yep. Alright, so there is that. Whatever this piece is, which I'm sure will be used later on in the instructions, I can't tell by the picture. Okay, so now we're moving on to the big booklet of stuff. So we're going to start with our sheet 1, and sheet 6. Would appear that we have 8 sheets, so get number 6 out. Number 2 has me sanding down the edge, okay, with the sandpaper. And number 3 has me punching out more peg-like things that go in these notches here that hold it together. So I'm not going to do number 2. I'm going to skip number 2 and go to 3 and put these together, and then I'll sand it down. Look at how small these are. These are pretty small. Alright, so this wheel here is the important, one of the important parts, because this wheel will be what drives everything. It's where all your sound comes from. So it's important that this is put together correct. Now we sand it. And now our wheel here, our sprocket, snaps on, and I think it fits there just like that. And this spins like that. Now this goes in here like this, and it gets capped with our spacely sprocket. Now this is our completed mechanism, and it looks like the wheel spins relatively smooth. Wax in the sprocket, space the sprocket, rock in the sprocket rocket pocket. Did anybody watch the Jetsons? That was a great show. I hope with all this waxing that I'm doing, I have enough wax because there is wax going everywhere. This hammer. They have you build your own hammer so you can hammer stuff. This serves no other purpose than to hammer pieces together. So we have this mechanism here. So we built the wheel to start with. That was kind of what we started with first. Then we built this piece, and that was the piece that we were building last. And basically you just put this frame together and put the wheel inside of it. And as you can see, the whole sprocket mechanism works just like this. Even if you just pick this up and spin it like that, it's kind of cool. It did have me put little decorative ornamental things on the side. There was one part where I had a piece put in upside down that I had to kind of wiggle apart and get apart. And so that was kind of rough there, but I did get it. And also, some of these smaller pieces, so if you look at this, if you look at this strip here, the one piece has a plus sign. I believe, and just guessing, that little plus sign means extra. And I'm hoping that it means extra because I dropped a piece, and I think it went into the trash can. So I don't think I'm getting that back. So I'm hoping that it is extra. But I do have this nice wheel moving here. And I mean, we are getting somewhere. It's just taking a lot longer than I thought. This is the whole mechanism working right here. There's a whole other mechanism that we get to in a minute that has all the keys and stuff, and I'll show you that when I get to it. But mostly what I'm going to be doing next is just putting all the exterior parts on so that it's more of a unit, and that's going to cover up some of these internal parts, which is why I'm filming this now. Since there's a lot of moving parts, every little sprocket needs wax on both the connecting parts and the parts that hold it together so that it can spin. And then there's a bunch of other sprockets that need waxed and things that need waxed and sanded. Almost everything needed sanded down, so that took forever. We're getting ready to put the top on the whole thing. I just want to show you the mechanism here. So the whole thing spins there. We have these wheels here spinning, making this part here spin. And so, yeah, the whole thing spins. I have a feeling that I'm going to need to add wax periodically. And I also think it'll get easier to spin as it works itself together. But like I said, right now we're getting ready to put the parts together. We're going to go ahead and slide this top part down onto here. And hopefully, fingers crossed, I'm going to have to make some adjustments here. Everything isn't going to line up exactly right. Now we're going to take our hammer, our little hammer, try to hammer everything together without breaking anything. Ta-da! We're still rolling. Alright. You can even see the little mechanisms moving down inside the hole there. Isn't that cool? This is such a cool little piece of machinery. So I'm going to go ahead and punch those out. And basically those are just pieces that go all the way around to hold this together. And this is the main body. Next I'm going to work on building the neck. If we're going by guitar nomenclature here, that I'm going to work on and get that together. I know also the buttons or keys or whatever that they're called in this thing are going to put together. So I'm going to start working on that, and we'll be back in a moment after I get all that put together. I would say we're about a third of the way through, so we've got a couple more hours left. Alright. Pretty cool little toy. What we have here is a mess. It's a mess. Messy, messy, messy mess. Mess. We've got stuff strewn, is that a word? All over. Alright, so we've gone a long way. We've gone a long way. Let's go over what we've done so far. Okay, so here's the body of the Hurdy Gurdy. So the wheel here spins. I've already rosined up the wheel a little bit, though I'm not sure how well that'll work. But we'll find out when we get to it. I also don't know how resonant this will be, but we'll find out. The strings go across this, which is our bridge. There are some adjustments on the bridge. I'm not sure how those work, but they are there. So go ahead and set that to the side. I did go ahead and throw the strings on the tail piece here. There are 2 strings. From what I understand of hurdy-gurdies, they're 5 strings or something like that usually, and but I'm not positive. Again, I haven't done intense research on the hurdy-gurdy, but I know the basics. So I know there's several strings. There's usually more than 2, but you have drone strings, and then you have actual note strings that actually produce different notes. So right here is our crank mechanism. We did build a crank. This is the crank. It just slides on the end here. I haven't attached it yet because I just haven't gotten that far. I wanted to show you. So this kind of goes on here. I'll go ahead and put it on while we're looking at this. Hopefully it won't break anything. Yeah, there we go. So that goes on there. Get it on a little bit further. There we go. So that goes there. So here is our crank. It's impressive that all those little gears work together. Now we'll go ahead and set that to the side. Here is, this would be the neck piece. So the neck area has this little hinge door, and if you open it up, you can see that all the internal workings. And these are the keys that are going to be pushed to play the notes, and they have a rubber band strung across it. So that's pretty cool. Go ahead and close it. That's pretty cool that you can open and close it, which is good. A lot of these medieval instruments were really decorative. So the strings actually run inside of here, and we're gonna have fun trying to fish those through there. On the back, we have our tuning pegs, which have a bunch of gears. I think they'll hold the tension. I think they're designed that way, but we'll find out once we start cranking on this. We'll figure out if it'll hold the tension or not. But hopefully they will. That's pretty much it. So basically, all you have to do is attach this piece to the body, and that's what we're going to do right now. The way that the instructions say this works is you attach the bottom first, like this, right? And then as you attach this onto here, and there's supposed to be an audible snap. There's that. There we go. Alright. Supposedly this is all together. The crank still works. Looks like we're all together. Now we get to string it. We get to string the hurdy-gurdy. This is our drone string. This, for all you guitarists out there, is not how you would string a guitar. Okay. That sounds beautiful. Now we're going to take this. This is our note string here, our melodic string. So that goes through here. Alright, assuming that doesn't slip off. Good to go. just a tad bit more. Alright, so we're somewhere. We've gotten somewhere. So what we're going to do is close this up so it's out of the way. Alright? Interesting. There's your Hurdy Gurdy right there. So there we go. There's our Hurdy Gurdy. Thank you for tuning in to watch this video of me build this cool little toy thing here. This little model. I think it's pretty cool. So thanks. Thanks for watching.